Radhe Radhe. Bhagavad Gita English Chapter 1. Now let's start 43 text. O Krishna, maintainer of the people, I have heard by disbelief, succession that those who family tradition are destroyed dwell always in hell. Purport. Arjuna bases his argument not on his own personal experience but on what he has heard from authorities. That is the way of receiving real knowledge. One cannot reach the real point of factual knowledge without being helped by the right person who is already established in that knowledge. There is a system in the Varnashram institution by which before death one has to undergo or go the engaging sinful activities must utilize the process of atonement called the prayaschita. Without doing so, one surely be transferred to hellish planets to undergo miserable lives as a result of sinful activities. Alas, how strange it is that we are preparing to commit greatly sinful acts. Driven by the desire to enjoy royal happiness, we are intent to killing our own kinsmen. Purport divine, by selfish motives, one may be inclined to such a sinful acts as the killing on one's own brother, father, and mother. There are the many such instances in the history of the world, but Arjuna, being a century devoid of the Lord, is always conscious of moral principles and therefore takes care to avoid such activities. Better for me if the sons of Dhritarashtra, weapons in hand, were to kill me unarmed and unresisting on the battlefield. Purport. It is the custom according to Kshatriya fighting principles that an unarmed and unwilling foe should not be attacked. Arjuna, however, decided that even though attacked by the enemy in such an awkward position, he would not fight. He did not consider how much the other party was bent upon fighting. All these symptoms are due to soft hardness resulting from this being a great devote of the Lord. Sanjaya said, Arjuna, having thus spoken on the battlefield, cast aside his bow and arrow and sat down on the chariot, his mind overwhelmed with grief. Purport. While observing the situation of his enemy, Arjuna stood up on the chariot. But he was afflicted with lamentations that he sat down again, setting aside his bow and arrow. Such a kind of soft-hearted person in the devotional service of the Lord as a fit to receive self-knowledge. Thus the end of Bhakti Vedanta purports of the first chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita and the matter of observing the armies on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Context of the Gita summarized. Text 1, Chapter 2. Sanjaya said, seeing Arjuna full of compassion, as a mind depressed, his eyes full of tears, Madhusudana Krishna spoke the following words. Purport. Material compassion, lamentations, and tears are all signs of ignorance of the real self. Compassion for the eternal soul is a self-realization. The word Madhusudana is significant in the verse of Lord Krishna killed the demon Madhu. And how now Arjuna wanted Krishna to kill the demon of misunderstanding that had overtaken him in the discharge of his duty. No one who knows where compassion should be applied. Compassion for the race of a drowning man is senseless. A man fallen in the ocean of renunciance cannot be saved simply by resuming his outward dress. The gross material body, one who does not know this and laments the outward dress is called a Shudra, or one who the laments unnecessarily. Arjuna was a Kshatriya, and the conduct was not accepted from him. Lord Krishna, however, can despite and the lamentations to the ignorant man, and for this purpose the Bhagavad Gita was sung by him. This chapter instructs us in a self-realization by analytical study of the material body and the spirit. Soul as explained by the Supreme Authority, Lord Shri Krishna. This realization is possible when one works without attachment to food critique, result and situated in the fixed conception of the real self. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? They are not to all befitting a man who knows the value of life. They lead not to higher planets but to ineffable. Purport: Krishna and Supreme Personality of Godhead are identical, therefore Lord Krishna is referred to as Bhagavan throughout the Gita. Bhagavan is the ultimate and the absolute truth. The absolute truth is realized in three phases of understanding, namely Brahman, or the impersonal or pervasive spirit, Paramatma, or the localized aspect of the Supreme within the grey heart of the living entities, and the Bhagavan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Krishna in the Srimad Bhagavatam, this conception of the absolute truth is explained thus. The absolute truth is realized in the three phases of understanding. The knower of the absolute truth, and all them are identical. Such phases of the absolute truth are expressed as a Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. These divine aspects can be explained by the example of sun, which also has a three different aspects, namely the sun signs, the sun surface, and the sun planet itself. One who study the sun sign only, the parliamentary student. One who understand the sun surface is further advanced, and one who can enter into the sun planet is the highest. Ordinary students who are the satisfied by simply understanding the sun sign, its universal pervasiveness, and the glaring the effulgence of its impersonal nature may be compared to those who can realize only the Brahman feature of the absolute truth. The student who has advanced still further can know the sun disk, which the compared to the knowledge of the Paramatma feature of the absolute truth, and the student who can enter into the heart of the sun planet is compared to those that realize the personal feature of the supreme absolute truth. Therefore, the Bhakta or the transcendentalized who have realized the Bhagavana feature of the absolute truth are the topmost transcendentalized. All those students who are engaged in the study of the absolute truth are engaged in the same subject matter. The sun sign, the sun disk, and the inner affairs of the sun planet cannot be but no one can claim the possesses all riches, all the strength, etc. Entirely, only Krishna can claim this because he is the supreme personality of God. No living entity, including the Brahma, Lord Shiva, or Narayana, can possess the opulences as a fully As a Krishna therefore is concluded in the Brahman Samhita by Lord Brahman himself that Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No one is equal to or above him. He is the primeval Lord of Bhagavana, known as a Govinda, as he is the supreme causes all causes. There are many personalities possessing the qualities of Bhagavan, but Krishna is the supreme because no one can excel him. He is the supreme person and is a body of eternal bliss. Before Lord Govinda and the cause of the causes in the Bhagavatam also there list of many incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But Krishna is described as the original personality of Godhead from whom many incarnation and the personality of God expand. All the all the list of the incarnation of Godhead submitted here with her added plenary expansion of the part of plenary expansion of the Supreme Godhead. But Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. Therefore, Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, the absolute truth, the source of both of Super Soul and the impersonal Brahman. In the presence of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Arjuna's lamentations of the kinsman is certainly unbecoming, and therefore Krishna expressed his surprise with the word kuta, wherefrom such the impurities were never accepted from the a person belonging to the civilized class of men known as the Aryans. The word Aryan is applicable to person who know the value of life and have a civilization based on life, spiritual realization. Person who are LED but the material conception of life do not know that I am realization of the absolute truth, Vishnu or Bhagwan, and they are captivated by the external features of the material world and therefore do not know what liberations is. The persons who have a knowledge of liberation from material bondage are called the non-Aryan. Although Arjuna as a Kshatriya, he was a deviating from a prescribed duties by declining to fight. This act is a cowardice is described as a befitting the non-Aryans. Such a deviation from duty does not help one in the progress of spiritual life, nor does it give one the opportunities to become famous in the world. Lord Krishna did not approve of the so-called compassions of Arjuna for his kinsman. Ocean Partha do not yield to this regarding importance. It does not become you give up such a petty weakness of heart and rise, O chastiser of the enemy. Jai Shri Krishna, Radhe Radhe. Next